by Rory, the little dino with the big roar. It's just part of Storyland's fantastic world, filled with your favorite storybook characters, magical shows, and unforgettable rides for all ages. Visit StorylandNH.com for information on Teen Storytime with Cinderella, Storyland character dinners, and season passes. Then enjoy the biggest summer of fun ever at Storyland. Make Cranmore Fitness your escape. Group fitness classes offer fun and variety with spinning, yoga, TRX, new Les Mills body pump, and more. Use personal training for a fast track to your fitness goals, or work out on your own in the Valley's largest weight and cardio facility. With indoor tennis courts, tennis is in season year-round, no matter what the weather. Finding time is made easier with Kids Corner Playroom, an online membership, day passes, and class reservations. This is about you. Plan your escape at CranmoreFitness.com.
Good morning and welcome back to White Mountains Today here on White Mountain TV 16. Joining us in the studio is Austin Bernier from the National Forest Foundation. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Rob. How are you?
I am doing great. What a spectacular day.
It's beautiful. The rain finally stopped.
I know. Finally. So we're going to talk about the National Forest Foundation, and I'm going to give you a minute to just kind of explain what that is, because I think there's some confusion over what the National Forest Foundation is.
Yeah. So basically, the National Forest Foundation, in a nutshell, is the nonprofit partner of the Forest Service. So we were congressionally chartered in 1993 to sort of address the problem where the Forest Service is chronically underfunded, and so we help expand their capacity in a variety of different ways.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and we were talking about it before that, because the other is a government entity, they can't have they can't be asking for donations, but you guys are focusing on certain things. You just completed some pretty cool projects.
Yeah. So we actually, last year, we just finished building the second bridge on the Tuckerman Ravine Trail. It's new. They're just finishing up this spring. And so that's really cool. And then this summer we're moving into another bridge on the Tuckerman Ravine Trail that was totally damaged by Hurricane Irene, and we're going to be up on the Boot Spur Link replacing a bridge.
And you were saying that you guys have kind of moved into the White Mountains. You came in 2011 and put some focus in the White Mountains because of Hurricane Irene.
Yeah, so Hurricane Irene dumped a ton of rain on the forest very quickly, and it surged a lot of streams, damaged bridges, washed out trails, and did a lot of damage. And so we then designated the White Mountain National Forest as what we're calling a treasured landscape as part of our nationwide Treasured Landscapes Conservation Campaign. And that's just a way for us to funnel more time, energy, and resources towards this particular forest.
Yeah, because basically the National Forest Foundation is all around the United States.
Yeah, we are all in 155 national forests, over 193 million acres of our national forest system. And so, with 27 employees, it's important to pick some forests that need a little bit extra tender loving care.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, you grew up here.
Yep.
So you know the White Mountains, like,
I do.
The back of your hand. So that's a great thing. I'm sure that's a great advantage for you because you know all about it. You know the history of the White Mountain National Forest, which has an incredible history, as we know.
Continuing to learn more every day.
And so you've got this bridge project coming up. Any other projects this year that are focused?
So we're replacing some damaged railings up at Sabaday Falls on the Kancamagus Highway. And so those railings were built in the CCC era, so like 60 years ago, and they're just falling apart, and they're like wiggling if you walk up to the railings over these big waterfalls. And so we actually are looking to break ground here pretty soon on totally restoring those railings and making sure that it stays safe so people can continue to enjoy them.
Well, let's point out the fact you just said that those were built during the Civilian Conservation Corps period.
Right.
Years and years and years ago, but they lasted all that time.
They lasted all that time.
They were built well.
Yeah, they were built well.
And so, I guess it's due time. It's
due time.
Yeah,
yep.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And you've got a big project coming up on the 19th here?
Yeah, so we're actually having a fundraising event on August 19th this summer, which is called Summit for the Forest. For more information, you can go to fortheforest.com. Basically, it's a hill climbing event. We're going to be taking people up Mount Willard, up to Tuckerman Ravine, and then up the Lion's Head Trail to the summit of Mount Washington. And so people are given fundraising goals. They sign up for free, and then we're doing guided hikes up to these sort of iconic places.
All on the same day?
All on the same day. There'll be 3 different groups.
Oh, okay.
So we won't go to all of them.
I was a little bit worried there going, come on, you can do it,
first.
you can make it.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, because the thing about all of these hikes is they're all great hikes, they're well marked and everything else, but it's nice to have a guide. It's nice to have someone who can point out a lot of the things that you might miss.
Right. Yeah, so it's really cool because there's some people who might not feel comfortable. Maybe it's their first time going up to the tallest peak in the Northeast, and they would feel more comfortable with a guide. And so we could sort of open up the possibility to that demographic. But then also maybe there's some folks who have done it before, but the opportunity to walk with a mountain guide, and maybe learn a few tricks, or they could point something out that they hadn't noticed before.
Absolutely. And I'm one of those people who would love to go with a guide, because it's like, I go with friends. I'm like, are you sure you know this trail? I've been up it 20 times. What do you know it, though?
Yeah.
So I think that's a great opportunity. So that's coming up on the 19th.
19th of August.
So we just saw the banner. Hans just had that on the screen. And so go to the website and sign up for that right there.
Yep, fortheforest.com. You can find it right there on the screen. And it's got all the information, registration information. We'll set you up with all the resources you need to try and hit some fundraising goals.
Absolutely. That sounds like fun.
And
so that's coming up on the 19th. And then what's your long-term goals? What else do you have there in the forecast?
So we've got a few more projects lined up going into next year already. Next year, actually, 2018 is going to be the centennial of the National Forest. So it'll be celebrating 100 years. We're doing all kinds of promotions around that, looking at a big restoration project on Crawford Path, which goes from Crawford Notch to the summit of Mount Washington. And we'll be pulling in some trail club partners and making hopefully a lot of trail work days and volunteer days, lots of opportunities for engagement.
Yeah, so I was just going to ask you about that, because obviously there's people who have to do this. So you get volunteers?
Depending on the project.
So
when bridge reconstruction, that's a little bit harder to involve volunteers. However, next year we're doing more of the trail work on Crawford Path. We hope to involve a lot of volunteers,
Now, if somebody wants to get involved either as a volunteer or to donate, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you guys?
Well, you could go to our website, nationalforest.org. It's got all the information you need there, how to contact any of our staff. There's plenty of web links. Or you could email me, reach out to me, abernier@nationalforest.org.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming by. I mean, this was something, I was unaware of, to be totally honest. So it's really neat to know that there is this organization that helps the area that we love so much.
Yeah.
That's great. Austin, thanks so much for coming by today.
Thank you, Rob.
And we'll be back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.